Hi everybody. I'm here to introduce Ravi Singh and Electionmall, and the reason I'm excited to have Ravi be part of our conference is that we've been following how the tools and the techniques that the Obama campaign used during the election have started to spread, and how people are, how they're being used in smaller campaigns. And I was shocked to discover, happily shocked to discover that there are over 800 campaigns using similar tools that Obama used running on electionmall.com. So when I heard that statistic, I insisted that Ravi come and spend a little time explaining exactly how his platform works and what he's seeing in his campaigns from around the world, because they aren't just ones that are based in the US, they're based on an international level where the political systems are clearly different, but the dynamics of people wanting to connect to each other are still the same. So I appreciate the fact that you made the time to join us this afternoon, and I'm very happy to be able to present one of the more provocative partners for the Personal Democracy Forum, Electionmall, and Ravi Singh. Thank you very much.
Thank you. First of all, I wanted to thank everyone for coming. We, at Electionmall, we have been very excited at what Personal Democracy Forum has been doing. Remember, it's literally 6 years ago, and when it first started, and I joke not when I say that when I heard that there were so many attendees this year, I think it's going to grow 10 times more by the next election cycle. And Electionmall is really happy to be part of it in the early days, and we're still continuing happy to be part of it. With me today, we have some distinguished individuals who have come to actually give testimonial to some of the applications we've done. In the history of Electionmall, we've never ever done this. We've always claimed to be very nonpartisan, and we said we're a technology company. However, sometimes the proof is in the pudding, and one of the things that we've seen here is that people now realize that there's no magic software that wins an election. The messenger and the message is just as important. And what we've done here at Electionmall is introduce something that I would like to go through. Michael will be pressing here the buttons for me. And we've basically gone ahead and simplified all our solutions into a one-stop shop. So I'd like to give you guys just a quick overview of some of the things that we've been doing. One of the things that we have is, the next slide, is that we are basically provide technology. Electionmall has provided technology to help raise money, build an infrastructure, provide managed online services, promote by email, text, phone, and also promotional products. One of the problems that we saw was that campaigns from school board mom to presidential candidates don't know where to get this stuff. And so we're working with third-party applications, but by creating sort of a one-stop shop model. So all of the applications at Electionmall, just like shopping at a mall, can be bought a la carte. So for example, if someone says, I have trouble raising money, I have trouble sending an email, I have trouble with my website, we can go ahead and help them. Electionmall takes great pride in this because we provide the same kind of customer service to those campaigns. Some of the bigger consultants don't want to take on these candidates. And as you guys know, city council, aldermanic races, state reps, state senators, county politics, townships, there's over 550,000 registered elections, an estimated 1.2 million candidates running. And last year alone, we saw over almost $10 billion being spent. Electionmall predicts that about $1 billion will be spent in technology services. So we see that there's a great need for this. And as technologies change, our applications are changing with the times. The next slide. One of the things we say is that every day is a campaign. Electionmall has sort of measured that the school board mom running in Iowa is much different from the school board mom running in California. So as CEO of the company, we've definitely seen a lot of changes. Our company has grown tremendously because we've seen that the needs of these candidates have changed. I'll give you a perfect example. My father now knows how to text message. He's 72 years old. I asked my dad, I said, where did you learn how to text message? He says, you know what? I don't want to talk to your mother. I just want her to warm up the food. That's my Indian dad, okay? So, he learned to text message because he doesn't want to talk to my mom. That's a behavior. Electionmall has realized that these behaviors are changing all across the country. So in Texas, behavior is different than in California. So a school board race in California would cost maybe $30,000, $50,000 on the low end. In Iowa, it might cost maybe $2,000. So, but the needs are still the same. Next campaign. Next slide. One of the things that we hear about is Politics 3.0. What is Politics 3.0? We believe very firmly that we are starting to see the rise of 2.0. When we were at the Personal Democracy Forum, we were trying to convince people to actually get a website. That was the big thing. And we said that the same things at the presidential level would trickle down to the local level. This year, we're seeing the rise of social networking. Our announcement today is historical in the sense, again, because we're using one of the most popular social networking sites to raise money for political candidates just like Obama. And we're really excited to use the PDF conference as an announcement platform. We believe very firmly that if you watch the trends in technology or what's happening in Silicon Valley, that the next wave of what we call Politics 3.0 will be the analytics. It'll be actually the processing. So just imagine the ability to have an application without knowing the technology, but sort of thinks on its own. So there are certain kinds of behaviors like early voting, absentee ballots, raising money, send to a friend. These kind of behaviors built into the technology. Next slide. So in conclusion, there's basically three components that we focus on at Electionmall. Basically trying to attract voters, volunteers, and most importantly, people who will go ahead and give money. We realize that money is sort of the mother milk of politics. And if you don't have money, you really can't beat the good old boy system. Next slide. So we've seen the emerge of what we are producing, and what we're announcing today is the campaign cloud. I've been to Silicon Valley since the early days, since 1999, seen the rise of the .com and the crash. And one of the things that everyone's talking about is cloud computing. It doesn't apply to elections unless you think of the cloud computing as sort of a campaign cloud for our market. We are not a business. We are in the process of winning elections. And that's a different behavior. Campaigns don't need to raise money to save it or make money. They raise money to spend it and win on election day. And international campaigns are coming to us all over, from Malaysia to Mexico. We had MEP races that helped us open up an office in Brussels this last year, and even in Mexico City for the July 5th elections, because one of the things that they're seeing is that they come to the United States to see if they can get the same tools that Obama used. And some of these countries might have the technology resources, but they don't have the know-how or the expertise to execute them. So in this campaign cloud, we see an emergence. So this is our new proposal, our fundraising. my campaign staff was laughing because I'm calling it a money bomb. And as a guy who wears a turban, I shouldn't really be saying bomb. So they tried to convince me to call it something else, but that's what we call it. And the reason why we call it is that I like to sort of show you a couple of unique features in this. One of the things is that this widget is basically a tool. Some of you who might not know what a widget is, it's almost like a yard sign. When we did traditional campaigning, we'd go knock on a door, say, would you like a yard sign? The person would put the yard sign in the yard, and we would now drive by and everyone would see that that person is a supporter. Well, the new virtual yard sign is a widget. And people can now place it on their Facebook accounts or social networking accounts. And so people who visit their websites can see that they support that candidate. In this widget, we have the ability to insert an image, customize the text, background colors, but more importantly, raise money in a compliant format. As many of you know, the federal election laws, the state and local laws are completely different from every single level. Here in New York, there are completely different laws that prevent you from raising money directly through third-party applications. So every single state has guidelines, which creates a complex algorithm. So what we've done with this widget is sort of streamline the process. Someone doesn't have to be technical to get this. They automatically get this. As soon as they donate, the campaign now has the ability to see the donors flash across the widget. Now, this sounds really great, but if you think about it, a social networking site like Facebook has a lot of people. I have about, I think, 300-400 people on my account. Now, if those 304 people were armed with a virtual yard sign, they could raise me money, just like Obama did.